So this is the Unity Hub, and this is quite convenient to, I can say that, taking care about the Unity files and then Unity software itself. So, and then, so from the project, you can see your old project, and then you can choose the version of your files. And then in the run, well, if you are real, if you want to a bit more after more ideas after this workshop, you also can have a look this Unity Run as well, because they provide actually pretty nice Unity tutorials. But yeah, these are more about the focusing about the game development, since Unity itself is the game engine. So, and these Unity communities, so you can see a bit more like ideas from this site, and then you can download you can install your Unity from here. So from here you can see the all different versions over here, and these are pretty new official release, but they're always LTS, which is long-term support version, is more stable. And from yet until now is still 2019 point 4 point something is most stable, and the most, how can I say that, easiest to adapt any kind of mm, packages and adaptations, those kind of things yet. And some people still using the 18s, but yeah, for now, for us, like it's a bit more convenient to use the 2019. So that's why we are using this one in this workshop. And here, so after you install it, if you did, maybe you are confusing about which modules you need to install. So if you're an Android user, please make sure Android build support and the SDK and JDK is ticked. And then if you didn't install this one, please install it right now. And if you are Mac user, of course you need to take the iOS build support version as well. But since this is Windows, and I'm not using the Mac, so I didn't download it. But if you're a Mac user, you really need this one. And then in general way, you also need to download install the Universal Window Platform Build support. So this one as well. So make sure tick these things and install it. And so we can start to at the project. Don't click if you have a different versions of the Unity. Don't click new. You have to select which versions of Unity you're going to use. So here, I'm going to create here as the platform 2001 in January, and in general, it's better to start with the English alphabet when you write down this project name. Sometimes there is going to be error if you start from the numbers sometimes. So it's safer to start with the English alphabet at the beginning, and then after that you can use some numbers for your recognition. So let's open the Unity. Then every version has a different loading screen, so you can figure out in this point, like if you use the correct version or not. And while it is opening, we also can check Visual Studio. Mm, Up here, is it Visual Studio installer? Yeah, pretty sure that you already have this one. Visual Studio installer. So here, yeah, like just make sure that if your Visual Studio has a Visual Studio community is a free version, and yeah, make sure if you tick these things, well, you don't need actually Python, but you need to tick the .NET desktop development and universal window platform development, and as well as game development with Unity. These and then also this one, desktop development with C++. Even though we don't using this one, we need these four: .NET desktop development with the C++, universal window platform development, and, and last, game development with Unity. Make sure you tick these four, and then if you don't have these, yeah, please install it right now. And if you manage to open your Unity, um, probably your screen, your layout is different from mine. So this layout is just for my convenient. So, but you always can change your layout by just dragging like this. So like this, you always can change your so for me, I just like to have a console. So I'm going to tell you which is what is doing what. But yeah, just for me, it's better to see the console box outside of the project. Maybe you don't have. I don't need. We don't need this one. So probably you have like these kind of things. And game, I think, as far as I remember, game was with the scene and with the game, but I wanted to see scene and game in the same time, so that's why I brought game scene to here. But it's totally up to you, so you can put whatever you want. Even not even today, maybe for later. I'm sure that you're going to figure out which is best layout for yourself. So let's see one by one. So you can see the hierarchy over here, and it says scene and it says inspector. I mean, I think you don't have these three. It's fine. We're going to get there. So and then here you will see the project, and then I think your console is inside of here, and there's a game view as well. So in the hierarchy is taking care about all the object inside of your scene. This is working scene, so you can just move around by clicking right mouse button like this. And then if you use the middle mouse button, you can just drag your scene, and the here inspector, you will see the some details of your the object from hierarchy. Like for example, if you click the main camera over here, you will see datas of the main camera. So you can just there's a position, rotation, and these kind of things. And I'm going to tell you about that as well. And there is a game view. Game view is going to be this is from the view from the main camera. So we always and when you run the game, when you run your script, it's going to be play on your game view. So uh, the project the project panel is going to take care about all of your files. Even though it doesn't matter about if it is in your scene or not, it's going to take care about all the files in your project. So yeah, we're going to import all the files to here, and then from here, we're going to use some object. We're going to put object to our scene, and in the console, you will see some error messages or some printed messages from the scripting, something like that. And so you can see there's some status from console bar. So let's start. try to see something, because for now this is just background, you don't see anything. So here, go to the hierarchy, go to the hierarchy and right click, and there's a, you will see a lot of different things here. Create empty and 3D object, and then you will, inside of the 3D object, you will see the cube, sphere, capsule, cylinder, and blah blah. And 2D object as well, and there is some effect, light, and all of these kind of things can be deployed in our scene, in our hierarchy. So let's start with the try to create the cube. So again, right click, 3D object, and cube. Just click it. And you will see one cube over here. And if it is too far, for example, so if you cannot find where it is, just select the cube and then select the scene over here, and then just press F, and then it's going to zoom select. The F means the zoom select inside of Unity, so you can see your cube over here. And when you see your cube, here is the when you click your cube, here is some data of the cube. So first of all, you will see the position of the cube. It is now like 1 point something. So let's bring it to the origin to 0, comma 0, comma 0. Where is it? Here. It's right here. And so there is some different keys. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know that if you are familiar with the Maya or not, but this is exactly same as Maya. So in here you will see the move function, and this is rotate, and this is scale, and this is a rectangular. You will use it in 2D Unity. You're not going to use it here. And this is combine of everything. So, and then this is the short key of this one is like, where is it? WER. So W is move, this is move, and E is rotate, R is scale. So if you move, you can use like, you can move like your cube like this. You will see your cube is moving like here as well. This is view from the this one again, main camera. If you don't see, maybe, yeah, but now I only see this axis. If you want to see your camera, there is a gizmo. Gizmo is like showing the all these kind of like gizmos in your scene view. So here, if I click the gizmo, enable gizmo view, you will see the camera, the light, this is directional light, and these kind of things. And there is just some another function with the gizmos. Just, but for now, just I just turned off the view. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. And yeah, so you can try with the rotate and the scale as well. And if you feel like if you feel like you don't know where it is, and just to go to transform, you can just right click and you can reset, and everything is going to be set up with the 0, comma 0, comma 0, and the 0 degrees and scale by 1. And then maybe you figured it out or not, but the when I move up, like your y, uh, the, um, the y is going to be changed. So in usually all of the game software is different from the Rhino or SketchUp. This is Y, it's not Z, and this is X, and this is Z. So it's same in the Maya, and then the, where is it? Let's remember the Unreal and Unity. All game-based engine is going to use is using same axis like this. So up is Y. Please remember this. This is quite important when you're scripting as well. Up is Y, and just hit this one is X and Z. Mm, and then, uh, yeah, so if you don't like this view, you also can change the You also can change your view as well. So you can move around your cameras. So you see your view is changing, even though I'm not moving the cube. You will see, and then you also can rotate like this. So we also can change our camera. And if you press reset, it always go to 0, 0, 0. So yeah, if you feel like lost, it's you can just simply click uh, the reset button over here. And so, and then you figured out not only about the transform, there's lots of different inspectors, different things over here. So let's try to understand all of these things because these are quite important. It's quite important to understand these components. So from here, maybe we can start with the create empty object here again, and just right click and create empty. You will see there is there's nothing, but it fakes something. You don't see anything, and it says in the inspector, it says here. So let's bring it to the 0, 0, 0. So we'll find it easily. So let's try to add some components. Here, we can start with the mesh filter. Mesh filter is taking care about the original shape of the object. So if you click this one, you will see cube, capsule, cylinder, plane, and sphere, which is exactly same as what you see from here, 3D object. So here, let's try to make this cube exactly same as cube. But so now it's going to have, it already has a cube shape of the mesh filter, but you still don't see anything. Why? Because it doesn't have a renderer. There's nothing to show, like it doesn't have any materials for now. So when you go to the add component, you will see mesh render over here. So click this mesh render, and now you will see some cube, the magenta cube. In the Unity, magenta means to say that empty. It means like it's transparent. It doesn't have. It's not transparent, but it doesn't have any material. So it's exactly same as like in Photoshop. You see the check background, right? It's exactly same as like that. It's like empty. It means empty. So we can fill some materials by clicking here in the mesh render. You see the mesh, there's element, it's empty. So we can fill up with the, let's use as default material. So you can, yeah, now you have the some, you have a, you can see the cubes. Let's bring it to, wait, let's bring the original cube to like like this one, minus 3, comma 0, comma 0, so we can compare these two. So under the game object, which was empty one, and here we can add another component. Let's try to add rigid body. This is taking care about the gravity. And so if you, for now, if you run this one, just by clicking this one, run this one, yeah, our game object, which is with the rigid body is falling down. So if you go to the rigid body, here is a use gravity. So let's try to add uh, thing, the rigid body into the our just cube. There, here, let's add plane. Let's add plane and reset. And then let's bring it to minus 2y. So it is, it is here. You can see it. So if we play this one, what is going to be happen? So both of them has a rigid body, so it's falling down. But there you said you see you just found that the our I mean original cube is the upside of the plane, but this our game object is just falling down. The why? Because when you go to the original cube, it has a box collider. Collider is taking care about the physical shape of the object. So our game object, you also can add a mesh collider, and then you will see lots of different shape, different type of the collider. Is the collider is different up to the shape of the mesh. So for now, we are using the just this is a box, so we can just use a box collider. So by using this one, now it has a physical shape. Before, it only has the renders, but it doesn't have any physical shape. It doesn't have any physics, so that's why it was just go through the plane. But for now, we just added box collider, which is physics. So now you see the both of them is stopping upside of the this where is it, the plane. So this is basic like an basic thing about the instructor, and maybe excuse me, you just figure that like when I play my Unity, my screen changed kind of like green. This is just change my setups because it's easier to figure out if I'm in the playing scene or not. If you want to change this like me, uh, go to the edit and just it was in preference, I guess. Yeah, it was in preference, and there's colors, and here you will see the play mode tint. So, but now I think it's just gray, so it's a bit difficult to figure out. So if you want to change to any other color, yeah, please feel free to change it so you can easily figure out if you are in the play mode one. All right. So let's try to do some very simple C# script. So here, let's let's try. So in here, in the our project panel, I told you that we're taking care about all the files, right? So I mean, we don't need these for now, so we can just delete cube, game object, and plane. We can just delete them, just select them, and I just press delete key. We're not going to use it for now. And the inside of the project folder, before you when if you right click, you will see again there's a create, and then you can create a lot of different things over here. But before we create our C# script, which is this, but before we create this one, let's create folder so we can organize all different type of the files inside of the project. So here I'm going to create folder, and we're going to create a bit different, a bit different type of the folder later. So, but however, this is easy to taking care about your files always. So, don't forget to, if you have a different things, don't forget to create a folder. And inside of the script folder, let's create C# script. Here, uh, it told you that it says that to change the name. So I'm going to change my name. My script name is my first script. Of course, you can change your name after you create it like this, but uh, it's better to create the name, give the name at the beginning. I'll tell you why. If you just open this, my first script.
Visual Studio 在哪下的呀？
Who was it? Hitching. I think you turned on your mic. But I mean, if you have a question, any of you, is totally fine. Interrupt me at any times. It's totally fine. So if you have a question, please ask me at any times. So okay, here, yeah, inside of the C sharp script, I think make it bigger. This is easier for you, right? So inside of your script, you will see here just the exact same name as my file. So this name should be should same as this name. So if I, for example, I just going to turn off this script, and if I change this name is my first script, like for example, just do. And as soon as well, I'm not using this script to anywhere, so it doesn't show any error over here. But if you click this one, I think that maybe that's what I mean. I'm not using this one at anywhere. So how to use? But there's going to be error if this name and this name is different. So make sure these are if you want to change your script name, make sure these are same. So for now, I'm just going to use like this. And if you see inside of your C sharp script, you will see like these two parts, like using something and then public class and something over here. So this part is it is calling namespace. Uh, in namespace is like the you can say that it's more like a library. So it's going to use some namespace which include these some type of the functions. So generally we are using the system collection and using Unity engine, but sometimes we're going to add some different namespace in here to use a different library. But these are the basics. So, and for now it's totally fine. And then this is, excuse me, this is taking care about usually the public class. The class is taking care about the one script in Unity. Well, if you are familiar with the scripting, well, class not always taking care about only one file, but for now it's easier to understand. One class is taking care about the one file, and you will see the mono behavior. This is also it explains the how this script is working. So if you have a mono behavior, it inside of the Unity, it needs to be attached in some place, and then after that it can be used. Well, I'll tell you we'll go there later. But if you delete this one, for example, the mono behavior, if you delete this one, which means it doesn't need to be attached at anywhere. So we can call it in anywhere. I mean, we'll get there later. And then if you see here, uh, it says it already shows some explains there is a void start and void update. Start is called before first time first frame update, and update is called once per frame. So what does this means? Is like when you run this code, when you run this script, if you write something in the start, it's going to run only one time. And then if you write something in update, it's going to call this function every single frames. So let's see what happens. Okay, inside of the script, inside of the start, let's type debug.log. This means this is kind of like printing some consoles. So in here, we can do the hello world. hello world. And if you see this one, yeah, if you don't have any problem with your Visual Studio, it's going to show some like it's going to some auto debugging system. So even though I only type a DE, it's going to show say that all the functions that you can take. So for now, we're going to use a debug, and again, if you press that, you will see a lot of different options what you can use for debug. So I just use the log, and then just open and close the blanket, and the quotation. Use the you need to use quotation mark to print something, and this semicolon, don't forget this semicolon in every single sentence. This is like okay, I just finished this sentence. Without this computer cannot recognize if your sentence is finished or not. So you have to put this semicolon every time if you're done with your one sentence. And let's save this. And when you save this one, it's going to automatically compiling your script into your the Unity. But if you play this one, you don't see anything for now because you didn't attach this script to anywhere. To use this script work, let's create empty object over here in the hierarchy. And I'm going to change this name to same as, just to avoid confusion. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It doesn't matter about the different name, but just to avoid confusion, to make it easier, I'm going to use the same name as my first script. And then when you create empty object, make sure always your transform is reset to 0, comma 0, comma 0. Well, I mean, sometimes it doesn't matter, but sometimes it's kind of essential that it has to be in the like 0, comma 0, comma 0. So it's better to get have this habits always. And how to use this script is you can just simply drag and drop to your my first object to here, or when you click this one in inspector over here, you can drag and drop to here, or add component. You can just search your name of your script, and like this. It's totally up to you. It depends on which is your more convenient. I just for me, like I'm just going to drag and drop to here. Just so make sure your game object include your script over here. So now it's ready to use this script. So if you run it, now you will see the hello world in your console over here, and you will see only once, right? And then let's stop it, and let's bring this debug log. I just use cut and paste, Control X, Control V. Here, I just brought it to void update and save it. And then let's go back to Unity and let's clear the console. And if you run it, yeah, now you see the it's keep generating hello world in every single frame. So now I think you get the idea of the what is start and what is update over here. Then there is also function if state. If is like if you do something, just Unity do something. So in this case, what we can do is if input input is uh, to when you want to like when you want to click something, like for example mouse button or key button, something like that. So here, yeah. So input let's do the get key. Mm, No, let's use the get key down is I think is better. Let's use the get key down. And again, another open another blanket inside over here, which key is going to be used. So here you will see the key code over here. And then if you press dock, you will see different options over here. But now I'm going to just use a space, which is spacebar. And then I just open and close the curly blanket. So each state always need this curly blanket to use some function. So if the space key is down, do something. So let's bring this to inside of here. The hello debug the hello world. Let's bring inside of here. And let's save this one. And then now, if you run it, you don't see anything in your console. But if you press if you press the space, you will see the hello world. Well, I mean, if it doesn't work, please try to click your game view, and then like just press the space button, space bar. Every time when you press the space bar, it's going to generate the hello world. So yeah, this is just how to use how to use the if function and the understanding of the scripting. And yeah, everything about the scripting is like just bit of repeating of these kind of things. So and that's what we need is a bit more complicated logic and a bit more complicated uh, some languages. So